right, good morning. Let's go ahead and get this show on the road. We are talking about expired mastery. We're going to continue on for the rest of this month. As usual, I do want to, of course, encourage all of you. And first off, thank you for being here on time. I do want to encourage those of you that are joining us over on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and now on TikTok. I just want to go ahead and say welcome. But of course, I'm going to encourage you to come join us over here on Zoom. It gives us a better opportunity to better interact. And as far as that is concerned, we're going to role play. So this gives us the opportunity to role play. So if you are joining us from the other platforms, perfectly fine. If you can't join us, you're welcome to go ahead and ask those questions. We'll get those questions answered. However, if you do get the opportunity, please come join us over here on Zoom. For those of you that are here on Zoom, as always, thank you for being here on time. I am going to get started. Let's get all of the notes continuing to move in a forward direction. This week, I do want to focus a little bit on the old expireds. There's not much of a difference other than just the time in terms of what's the difference from a new expired and an old expired. Again, so we are on the same page. We already went over some of the recap. We're going to talk about old expireds today. So the difference, today's expireds are new expireds. That's it. That's the ones that we are calling. However, when you're done with the new expireds, which is what we've talked about for the last week and a half, you also have the opportunity to go after a second version of that same source, and that is what I call as old expireds. Or, I mean, it's not a Robert thing, but yeah, it's called old expireds. But what does Robert consider to be old expired is anything that is 90 plus days or older. 90 days, 120 days, 180 days, a year, 2 years, 5 years. You could go back as far as you want. And that's basically going to be the old expireds. Now, there is what I call as expired purgatory, and that's between day number 2, yesterday's expireds, and all the way up until about day 89. Let those rest. Let them, don't even bother them. They're annoyed. They're agitated. They've gotten plenty of calls. So we do want to make sure that we are not talking about anything between 2 and 89 days, to be specific. So today we are on the topic of old expireds. So with that being said, let me throw it back over to the audience. Is there any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything of anything? It doesn't have to be specific to old expireds, but does anybody have anything that they want to address today? Nope. All right. So as far as old expireds are concerned, when we're calling these old expires, I'm going to share the script here in just a second. I'm going to break this down so we are on the same page. Let me go ahead and get there. There we go. All right, here it is. So basically with old expireds, what does that basically in a sense mean? Yeah, 90 days. They were on the market. They came off the market a little while ago. It's now been about 90 days, 120 days. We're going to be calling these old expires, and you need to always lead with empathy. Hey, look, I know you're probably frustrated. You're annoyed. You've gotten tons of calls. You guys had an original intent to go somewhere. The mirroring and the matching is going to be important, which we're going to talk about as well. But the empathy is equally, if not more important with expireds more than any of the other sources. Because for sale by owners, empathy doesn't work. They could care less. Hey, I'm going to sell this place, and if I don't sell it, whatever. But expireds, it's kind of like this, had this illusion. I mean, just think about it. You're sitting there, you're a seller, you're wanting to upgrade your home. You're like, okay, yeah, let's do this. It's the time. Let's go get qualified. Let's get ourselves, in regards to with what it is that we want. We want the extra bedroom, the extra bathroom, the pool, the bigger lots, the bigger home, the extra garage, whatever it is. I don't know. Or they're in a position to downsize. So they have this illusion, and then they finally call a realtor, get a hold of a realtor. They go through the process of that, and they go, yes, all right, babe, we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and move forward and get this property sold. They go through the showings, cleaning it up, doing all of these everythings to prepare the home for sale. And then all of a sudden, a month goes by, 2 months goes by, 3 months goes by. They maybe expire. 4 months goes by, 5 months goes by. And then they're sitting there and they're just like in disbelief. What in the world happened? And all of a sudden there's crickets. No showings, no nothing. We haven't even heard from a realtor in the last week, 2, or a month or 2. And all of a sudden, bam, 150, 200, 250 calls in that day. Like, oh my gosh, babe, I don't know what the heck's going on. This is crazy. This is mind blowing. Oh my gosh, where in the heck were all of these realtors? Do you have a buyer? We were thinking about selling it. We got so discouraged about the entire process. We just gave up. And the last thing we want to do is be in a position where we're simply just shoving our resume down their throat. But I can sell it for you. Do you know what I can do? I'm amazing. I'm great. I'm the number one realtor. I'm the best realtor. And I. And they're sitting there like, whoa, yeah. I mean, goodness, we haven't had a showing in 6 weeks, and now we have 172 realtors calling us. This is crazy. So I paint that picture because that is literally day one. And that is important we understand. So in that over time, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 10, that 172 becomes the next day's 46. The day after that's 22. The day after that's 12. The day after that's 8. But they're still getting called and they're getting overwhelmed. So what we want to do is we want to give them a little bit of a breather. And that's my personal recommendation. If you go after and you capture business, and I get it, I understand. You know what, Robert? I get business. I call them a week later, all this other stuff. Cool. Awesome. Good for you. You're talking about the 0.001%. Awesome. Good for you. What I want to do is I want to put you in the best opportunistic situation is what I'm trying to equip you with. Because on that day 2, 3, 4, and 7, and 35, they're just frustrated. They're annoyed. They're just like, dude, you guys got to stop. This is crazy. I mean, you guys have been calling for the last 3 weeks. I mean, is this thing ever going to stop? Yeah, I don't even know if I really want to sell this thing. So I paint that picture because when we call them 90 days later, at this point in time, it's kind of like, okay, the dust is kind of settled. We're getting 2, 3, 4 calls still, but it's not overwhelming. And then now it's 90 days. And then they're in a position of, hey, babe, what do you think? Should we reconsider? What do you think? I mean, we really wanted that pool. We really wanted that extra bedroom. We really wanted the whatever it is, or we wanted to downsize, or whatever the hope and dream was. And then they revisit the idea. With old expires, a little bit has to do with timing. Sometimes it's almost instant in that 90 days, and other times it's 3 years later, you know, circumstances change, whatever it may be. So when we call them, we have to make sure that we always lead with example. Lizette, can I borrow you?
Sure.
All right. So in this, we go through, I pick up the phone, I call Lizette, I'm the realtor. Lizette is basically this discouraged, but we're thinking about it seller. So now I go through and I pick up the phone and I call Lizette, and here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Lizette.
Yes.
Hi, Lizette. My name is Robert. I'm a local realtor here with ABC Realty. I'm sure you've gotten tons of call by now regarding your property. I was simply calling to see when are you planning on putting your property back on the market?
Yeah, we just decided to rent it out, actually.
Oh, okay. Did you guys end up renting it after all?
Yeah, we rented it out about 3 months ago, actually.
Oh, okay, good. Well, good for you guys. At least you guys came up with a solution in regards to that. Was that originally an investment property or were you guys living there?
We were living there.
Okay, got it. Now, so living there, the home didn't sell, you found a tenant, now you have it rented out. You guys obviously went somewhere. Where did you guys end up at?
Yeah, we just got a bigger home.
Oh, nice.
But
Okay,
yeah.
okay, cool. So is your goal to continue growing your real estate portfolio?
No, not really. We really didn't want to rent it out. We just kind of wanted to leave it. We've been landlords before. We didn't really enjoy it.
Oh,
But I mean, right now it's working for us. So
got it. So basically, it was a plan B. It was definitely not plan A. You did go into the direction. You figured, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just rent this thing out because it's better than nothing. And now you guys are in your bigger, nicer home.
right.
Now, Lizette, if you could potentially still sell this property, would you guys reconsider that?
I mean, I maybe in a few months.
Okay.
Um, Yeah, maybe in a few months. We did have some things we wanted to do to this home. That's why we were trying to just move out all the money out of here, but um probably in a few months.
Got it. Okay, perfect. Not a problem. I mean, when you guys are ready, you guys are ready. But I am curious, though, as far as the tenant is concerned, did you guys sign a month to month? Did you guys do a short term, longer term type of contract?
It's month to month.
Oh, good. Well, see here, there's an advantage to selling the property in its current state. Can I share with you?
Sure.
Well, see, here's the thing, Lizette, is that obviously your original plan was to get this property sold and move the monies over to, I imagine, to the place you guys are at, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So unfortunately, that didn't take place. Now you guys have a tenant in the home, and ideally, the first plan was to get this property sold. Now, in this, because you do have a tenant, what we'd like to do is we would like to market this home because you've already done the homework in advance. I'd like the opportunity to offer it to other investors that are looking for rental properties that already includes a tenant. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if you, and of course, your husband make the decision that, it might be a little bit better to do it a little bit later and revisit the idea, that's not a problem. But what I'd like to do, Lizette, is I'd like to basically evaluate your situation, have a conversation with you and your husband to see when is the best time and the best approach to do this. I mean, I'm going to be out in your area later today, or we could always do it tomorrow. What day would work best for us to have a 15, 20-minute in-person conversation?
I mean, that sounds great. But I have to talk to my husband first.
Yeah, absolutely. When do you think you'll have a chance to talk to your husband?
Probably later today.
Okay, cool. So why don't we do this? You talk to your husband. We'll put you on the schedule for tomorrow. Let me take a look at my calendar. I have an opening at 4, or would it probably better if we were to get together at 5 o'clock tomorrow?
Yeah, probably tomorrow.
Okay, but would 4 or would 5 be better?
I'd say probably 5.
Okay, perfect. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to talk to your husband. And again, I don't want you guys to feel any sort of pressure. I just want to be able to provide you the information. And Lizette, if it makes sense, great, we move forward. And if it doesn't make sense, that's okay too. I really just want to be able to evaluate your guys' situation and just to make sure to see if it does make better sense to kind of wait it out the next couple months or just kind of get back on the horse and let's get this property sold. So I got you down here for tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and I do see here your husband's name is actually the same as mine. Does he go by Robert or does he go by anything else?
Robert.
Perfect. Now, if what I say makes sense and you and Robert do feel comfortable and confident that I can get your home sold so that we can, of course, get you guys monies as you were expecting, would you guys consider selling the home?
I mean, if it already had the tenant in place, that's fine.
Okay, perfect. Absolutely. And then I would, of course, continue on to the rest of the pre-qualification. Lizette, thank you so much for that. Now, any insights, Lizette, now that I have you on here, that you want to share with the audience about with what we just went over?
No, I think it's I guess with working with expireds, there is a little bit more of an emotional standpoint. I do feel like the empathy is important with
Yeah.
these people, just because they did have a goal, they didn't reach it, now they had to go into a different direction. So I think that you handled it well.
Well, let's talk a little bit about our current listing that we just took that came off of the market, very similar type of a situation. Now, on that, how important was it to lead with the empathy behind? They're going through basically a divorce. These people are going their own way. It's an amicable situation, sale, without going into the details of which property, because obviously it's personal information. But how important was it to lead in that presentation with emotion and their motivation?
Yeah, I mean it was different for both parties because we're dealing with a wife and a husband essentially, but um different personality types as well. So I think the wife looked as if she had more pressure, so she was a little bit more distraught than the husband did. But they both at the end of the day when we did the presentation, they both kind of so I do think it was important to really empathize that they were in a sticky situation.
Do you remember
But
where we parked at in regards to the constant thing we kept talking about in regards to the emphasis of the presentation? Do you remember? I know we're fishing a little bit, but do you remember what we were talking about?
mm, no,
Uh,
no.
Painting the picture, and the painting of the picture was about what? their next chapter.
Hmm.
Yeah. So in that, in the painting of that picture in the next chapter, they understood with what it is that we were wanting to accomplish, and that was to help them get to that next level. Now, mind you, maybe one of the spouses was a little bit more like, I mean, I guess let's just do this, where the other one's like, yeah, we got to get this thing done because we want to move on. So as we continued in the presentation, we kept talking about the importance of getting to their next chapter. I mean, it's pretty exciting about getting to that next chapter. Now, obviously, in order to get to that next chapter, we got to close this current chapter. And in that, it is important that the audience understands that it is a lot about motivation. It is a lot
Hmm.
about empathy. It is a lot about talking about with what they're going to accomplish and ultimately painting that picture for, what's going to happen next. So, all right, cool. Well, let's go ahead and move in a different direction. Any questions, comments, concerns? Anybody have anything of anything that is here on Zoom or any of the other platforms? No?
I got a quick question.
Go for it, Chris.
So with that particular, yeah, with that particular situation, was the property, did you discover that the property was overpriced? Did you have to make a price adjustment, on that listing?
Yeah, a large percentage of the time it's going to be pricing. A good percentage of the time has to do with pricing. It's not always, in a sense, the case about pricing, but in this particular case, property still has yet to hit the market. We do have a signed contract. Property is going to hit the market basically between today or tomorrow. But there was I think, a $15,000 reduction that was done, which would basically be a 3% reduction just to paint the picture, because $15,000 on $1 million property is nothing. So, but it was a 3% reduction, and we'll give it a shot. And the other thing too, in that situation, Chris, is we did paint the picture of, hey, look, we can give it a shot. Let's see if it works at that price. But if it doesn't work, we need to be prepared to go to plan B, and plan B is the price that we're suggesting. And then the price we're suggesting is another 3% reduction. So we already had basically the drop in price, and then we already have hey, if it doesn't work in the next 2 weeks, we need to be prepared to go to plan B, and plan B is the price that we're recommending. So we've already even painted that picture. Okay. So
Okay, thank you.
yeah, you're welcome. And again, time's going to tell if this property sells, doesn't sell. I mean, I'm pretty close to about a 92, 93% resell, in regards to that. Lizette?
Yeah, just to chime in on it because the price was a tough discussion to have with these sellers because their previous agent, I mean, unfortunately didn't have this hard, heart to heart discussion with them like, hey, this is the price that you're wanting, but this isn't selling. It's not working.
Yeah.
So I do think the approach that we took was being direct, but we also asked their permission to be direct with them because it's probably not something that they wanted to hear, but it's something that they needed to hear in order to get to that next chapter. And they were on board eventually. It did take a little bit of discussion in between, but I mean, we got it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Lizette, real quick, actually, I wanted you to stay on. So in that, the very first question that the husband asked when we talked to him over the phone, what did he tell us?
Are
Or
you
ask
talking about the commission? How much we charge?
right out the gate? How much are you guys charging? And then how much time did we actually spend in the presentation talking about commission?
Hmm, like maybe a minute or two.
If that, it was
Right.
literally we charge 6%. This is with what we do. But let's not focus on that. Let's continue moving forward on the rest of the presentation. We went through the entire presentation, and then we ended up showing, we agreed on the price. We went through and looked at the net sheet and said, this is what we're looking at. We're hoping that we can get you around this, in terms of profit is concerned. They obviously weren't happy because they were illusioned on something a little bit higher. But how much more was brought up in regards to commission? Almost nothing. At the very end, they just said, okay, so this includes all of your fees. Yep, includes all the fees, including the commission that we just talked about. Do me a favor, go ahead and sign right there. Let's move this thing forward. So I want to make sure the audience understands that they will at times lead with certain things. He said we didn't want to reduce the price. We're not going to be looking at paying, 6% commission. And in the end, they reduced the price because I told them the truth. We told them the truth, and they ended up paying the full commission. So don't lead with that. I just want to make sure everybody understands that there are the opportunities.
And there is a piece of that's super important, I believe, with that was really just gaining their trust
Yeah.
because we have to also understand that they were already, in a sense, done wrong. I mean, obviously they had a goal to sell. The realtor that originally had it told them that it would sell at that price. offering them hope, and it didn't. And so now we're coming in as the second option, and it was more of building the trust versus even going into the commission discussion at all. So we pretty much had to set the foundation as to, this is why we're having the heart-to-heart discussion with you, because this is what it takes.
Yeah. And the very first thing I prefaced in regards to the presentation, which is simply nothing more, hey, look, do I have your permission to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth so that we can get this property sold? And they said, yes. Last thing I want to do, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, is put you in a position where I'm telling you things that you want to hear. I need to tell you the things that you need to hear that's going to cause your home to sell. Because the last thing I want to do is put you in a position where Lizette and I are wasting your time, because you guys don't want to waste your time, correct? You want to get over to the next chapter, correct? Awesome. Then this is what we're looking at in order for you to accomplish this. And even when they basically picked the price, I said, look, I don't know if it's going to sell at that price. I'm thinking it's going to be closer to over here, which was another 3% reduction. So I already prepared them for that, in a sense, price reduction. All right, let's get some role playing. I do want to invest today and tomorrow a little bit on the old expireds, and then I want to get back into the new expireds and continue chipping away at that. Who wants to be the first person to go? This is all about participation. Without participation, this forum doesn't work quite as well. So who wants to be that first person to go? Brandon, how about stepping up to the plate? Haven't seen you for a little bit, buddy. No? Chris?
Yeah, give me a second.
Go for it.
All right, ring ring.
Hello?
Hey, Robert, my name's Brandon. I'm a local realtor with Deluxe Realty. I'm sure you've gotten tons of calls by now regarding your property. I was simply calling to see, when are you planning on putting your property back on the market, Robert?
I don't know. We're thinking about it, but we're not sure if we want to do it quite yet.
I got you. I see. Well, when you sell your home, where are you planning on moving to next?
I mean, we're thinking about either Avondale. I mean, that's probably an idea. I don't know. We may even consider Surprise as an option. So we're not really quite sure.
Just curious, what's drawing you to those areas, Robert?
It's just growing. It's a growing area. It's really beautiful. A little bit more house, I think would probably be beneficial. We did fall in love with a community over in Avondale. Beautiful places, almost on a half acre, and yeah, but we can't do that. We can't make that move until we get this property sold.
Robert, just curious, what'd you like best about that community?
All right, cool. Good job. All right, so thank you for participating. So very quick, right out the gate, the one feedback that I would give you, Brandon, is I want you to lead. I really love the energy. I love the excitement, the enthusiasm. I love that, but we do want to have a little bit of empathy. Okay, so in that, it's just kind of like, man, it sucks. It sucks that your property didn't sell. Now, it's also going to be subject to going back to the mirroring and matching, which I'll talk a little bit more in detail tomorrow about. But in that, a little bit of the I don't want you to be an 8 or 9 in this arena with expireds, where I'm kind of like whatever, a 5 or a 6, if that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Lizette, any insight for Brandon there?
Yeah, I think Brendan just has natural energy, so I think it's great. I do feel like at the beginning it was a little bit rapid fire. I don't know, but you decide on that. But I did feel like it was a little rapid fire, just coming out the gate really quickly. But I do think maybe the repeating and affirming is just something to put you in the same line with that person. And that's just maybe a little thing. But I think you asked really great questions just to kind of get as to where they were going, why they were going there. So
Right, just trying to hit motivation. I tried to go fast, so they don't hang up on me. It isn't expired, and
right.
I agree matching and affirming, but I wanted to be quick so they don't hang up on me.
So in that, I muted myself because we're literally one block from a train rail. But here, let's do this, Brendan. Let me actually give you the let's roll reverse. So you basically be the same person. That way I can show you how you can go ahead and keep them on the line. And again, remember, these are old expireds. So there is going to be some resistance, but it's not going to be the same resistance as calling an expired at 9:30 in the morning that day of. So here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello, Brandon.
Yeah, who's this?
Brandon. Hey, this is Robert. I'm a local realtor with ABC Company. I'm sure you've gotten tons of call by now regarding your property here. I was simply calling to see when are you planning on putting your property back on the market?
Gosh, it was I don't know. We just had a rough time. It didn't sell. We didn't get the price that we wanted. We're not really sure.
Got it. Now, if you did get a price similar to with what you were asking for, would you reconsider putting your property back?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, when you sell this home, Brandon, where are you guys going to next, by the way?
probably LA.
That's a big move. What's taking you guys over to LA?
Uh, my my job.
Okay, got it. So are you working now remotely, or is the goal to ultimately end up there at some point in time because you have to report there physically?
Yeah, I need to get over there, but I was just thinking about renting over there, and we'll just keep the house here. I don't know, maybe rent it out or something.
Got it. Got it. Is that your first preference?
Well, no, we originally wanted to sell it, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, and that's the reason I'm calling, Brandon, because I see here, I mean, it's a great property. I'm looking at the pictures, looks absolutely amazing. As far as getting over to LA, how soon are you hoping to get over there?
I mean, I'm gonna be leaving in the next 3 months, so
Got it. Okay, so you're going no matter what. So
yeah,
ultimately, it's a matter of whether you rent this place or sell this place.
right.
Got it. Okay. So, and of course, the benefit of getting over to LA is to start your job.
Yep, just a transfer.
Understood. So, Brandon, if we could get a price not too far from with where you guys were at, would you reconsider selling it now?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, we didn't get any offers. It
Yeah.
was just, it was not what we wanted.
I completely understand. You know what? Here's what I want to do. I specialize, unfortunately, with properties that did not sell the first time. What I want to do, Brandon, is I want to evaluate your current situation, what went wrong, because the pictures look great. You have a great property here. I just need about 15, 20 minutes to take a look to see with what it is that maybe we could take a little bit of a different approach. And then I'd like to, of course, share with you the techniques that I use to sell homes. Are you familiar with those techniques, Brandon?
Robert, I don't even know you.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. And I appreciate that. Let me share with you those techniques. I can be over there later today. I can be there at 3 o'clock, or Brandon, would 5 o'clock work better for you guys?
I mean, I think we're just gonna go with the same person we had before. I mean, thanks, but no thanks.
Hey, no worries. Absolutely. I'm just curious, though, if you were to go with the previous agent, I mean, what do you think they're going to do different that they didn't do the first 6 months that you were on the market?
Well, they said the market wasn't that great. They're gonna do more or open houses and a little more advertising.
Yeah. Let me pull up some information here real quick. Yeah, Brandon, as far as the market is concerned, it was a little bit softer, and I kind of understand with what's going on. But I don't know if you know this. Basically, in the last 6 months in your community, there was 11 other properties that sold. Did you know that?
I mean, no, not really.
Yeah, and see, that's what I mean by evaluating your situation. I mean, going back to separately from the softening of the market, I mean, what's the agent going to do different other than coming up with some sort of validation?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, yeah. And see, don't you think they would have put their best foot forward the first time?
I mean, yeah, right?
Yeah, and see, here's the thing, Brandon. I'm not calling a bash a previous agent because I'm sure you established some sort of a relationship with them. What I want to do, Brandon, is take a little bit of a different look, a different approach. And heck, here's the best part about it. After we meet, if you feel that your original agent is still the better option, Brandon, that's still an option. So I just need about 15, 20 minutes, evaluate your situation, share with you with what it is that I do to get homes sold, and then you can determine whether or not the previous agent is a better fit. Does that make sense?
Makes total sense.
Perfect. Brandon, let me take a look at my calendar again. I got that 3 o'clock, or I could always do 5. What time works better for you?
5 works better for me.
Boom, there we go. Perfect. Thank you for participating, Brandon. All right, cool. Questions, comments, concerns, observations, anything of anything. Anybody wants to share?
Great job handling those objections.
For sure. Absolutely. It's what I do best. I appreciate that. Questions?
I just want to confirm real quick. So just to clarify, you recommend not going after expires if they're more than 1 day old, right? And then focusing on the brand new ones, a day old, and the ones that are 90 days old, correct?
100%.
Or
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, there is a little variance because I know that there are some times people I have this doctrine level to expireds, which I don't want to what's it called, confuse people, because I know sometimes I'll get people that'll say, hey, well, you said this one time, set up a certain routine. We'll talk about that at a later time. Right now, I want to keep it very simple. Brand new today with what we're talking about, Chris, and then 90 days. Okay, so that's pretty much new and old, and anything on the other side of 90 days.
Okay,
Yeah, cool, awesome.
perfect. Thank you.
For sure. Anybody else, any other questions that we can address? No? All right. So let me give again everybody a quick little reminder that in Rancho Cucamonga, that's going to be next Thursday. I'm going to be doing my very first in-person event for MIT Millionaires in Training, known as the Foundation. Okay, it's free. Okay, basically, I'm launching it out there, doing it for free. We have very limited seating because that's at a great place, the Sanctity Hotel, rooftop, super duper decked out. So I'm really excited about it. So if you guys are in the LA, IE, OC, San Diego, you guys, Ventura, anything you guys are willing to come out, we do have about 50% already occupied. We do have some limited seating. That's going to be next Thursday, all day event from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, and it's free. Basically, if you just simply go, we're continuing to post it over on my social media, and we should be having it also up on the website any minute now too, so that you can go ahead and access that as well. Okay, so it is going to be via Eventbrite, or just send me a DM. I'll get you guys the information. As always, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you tomorrow again, 7:30. Make sure you show up. We're going to go ahead and do one more day of Old Expireds, and then I'll see you guys then. Thank you so much. I'll see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.